Hi, I'm Louis Norton from Netwall Dental Lab in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Again, we're going to discuss a little bit about the MG Newpress and the new owners that are receiving the MG Newpress are running into a few problems that seem to be consistent, and we're going to try and address those. So as we go through, we want to make it easier for you. So like any other product, the more you use it, the more you find some idiosyncrasies about the product, and we're going to try and alleviate that problem with this video. Okay, when you first get your MG Newpress, the very first thing you're going to run into is setting up your air line to the machine. Now, every laboratory has a different sized air line. Some of them are metric, some of them are not. What you have to do is you have to take this piece, this chrome piece which comes with the Newpress. This is your on and off air switch supply to the machine itself. Now what I did was I went down to the hardware with a piece of my line that I'm using, and I had the hardware fit me with enough hardware so that my line would fit to this piece. So take this piece with you when you go down to the hardware, and a piece of your line that you intend to use, and they will fit you with the hardware necessary to make it work. And then it's just a matter of bolting everything together. The first thing you want to check when you receive your MG Newpress and you got your air connected is check your fuses. There's 3 fuses over here. There's one right here, there's one here, and one here. This knob is your air pressure control knob. This is what adjusts your air pressure up or down. You want to have probably about 80 to 85 pounds of pressure, or it would be like 7 bars, 6 to 7 bars of pressure. And the way you use it is you pull it out and you'll hear it pop, and then you turn it and you'll hear it release, and you watch the pressure gauge on the machine will tell you where you're at pressure wise. If you want to increase it, just turn it back up until it reaches where you want it. Once you reach the desired pressure, just push the tab back in. And that's all you need to know about that. This, of course, is the on and off switch, the master on and off switch. And then you have your plug-in cord. And then, of course, it goes into a 110. Then we have just a few words on the gauges and the controls on the front. Okay, when we go over the controls when you get your MG Newpress, you're going to take, and this is the LED readout gauge for your temperature, and you'll also be setting your temperature. You'll have a triangle here that goes down. You hold that, and you have to hold it for 5 seconds, and then it'll start taking the temperature down. It'll give you a digital readout as to how low you're going. If you want to raise the temperature, you press the triangle that points upward. Hold it for 5 seconds, and the digital readout will start showing you where you're setting it to. The actual temperature, well, we'll just turn it on. We've got it plugged in. We'll turn on our main switch, and we turn on the oven. Your LED will light up. This is the temperature that it is set for right now. This is the temperature that the actual oven is right now. So the oven temperature is only 19 degrees centigrade. And this one is in centigrade. Alright, if we want to change the temperature, we press the down button and it begins to count down. When you get to where it's gone 5 degrees, it will start going in 10-degree increments. It'll also blink after you let loose of the button, and that tells you that it has already reset itself. So every time you turn the oven on, it will stay at that temperature. If you want to raise it, you just do the opposite with the other button. And there it blinks, and that shows you that it has reset itself. And you can see that the oven temperature is already raising itself. All right, this is the oven switch. When the oven is on, the switch is on, the green light will go on. When you shut this off, that shuts off the oven and the LED. The air pressure switch does not have to have the master switch on in order to work. You can turn it on, and the green light will come on, and of course the air pressure gauge will show a drop and then an increase. You turn the switch off, and the piston will be pulled back from the push, and the air pressure gauge will go back to where it belongs. This is the back of your MG Newpress, and what I've been hearing more than a couple times now is that during shipping, machine is getting jostled around and the piston is not engaging. And what I've been consistently finding is that during the course of shipping, some of the wire, one of the wires has a habit of falling off. So the way to fix it is to take, and this panel here will come off, and you have 4 Phillips head screws that you pull off. Make sure that the unit is unplugged. Okay, after you pull that back panel off, these are the air lines going to the solenoid for the piston switch. This switch up here is for the oven temperature. This is the LED readout, and this is the pressure gauge, the air pressure gauge. Now if everything looks like this, everything's connected, there's not a problem. So then the next thing you go down to look at is you pull this off, which has 4 Phillips. I already removed a couple just to make things quicker, and 2 straight screwdriver at the bottom. And you have to do this in this sequence, otherwise you're going to run into problems. This assembly slides very hard, but it does come off. It comes off from these flanges here. It's a pressure fit, so it is tight. But you slide that off and gently lay it down. After you remove those screws from the bottom, which are flat-headed screws, then, and it'll be in the front also, this casing will lift right off. Remove the casing. Make sure you're unplugged. This area here, if you're injecting improperly, will gather filings from the cartridges, and if you inject it and you overstuff it too much, sometimes the material will melt and it'll stay right in here, which is what we've got right here. That's melted material. Check to be sure that all your wires and your grounds and everything are connected yet. The blue wires are the ones that operate the piston switch. That's the culprit that usually runs out. For cleaning out, if you have an over-injection and you have an abundance of material that's coming through, I would recommend that you take and very carefully plug your unit in with your cap off and let the furnace heat up. After it heats up, then unplug it and then try and very gingerly work your material out of there so that you got the bulk of it out. You won't have to get all of it out, but it would be a good idea to get some of it out. But it would be a very good idea to take a small brush and brush all the filings out like I have here. You will gather those, and we don't want to take a chance on getting anything shorted out or anything. This machine has been in use for a few years, so this is the first time I've cleaned it, so that's really not too bad. Other than that, then we just reverse the procedure to put everything back. Be sure and take your housing shroud. Make sure you've got the right front and back, otherwise it won't go down. And that goes on. There we go. Then you're ready to put your control back on. Now you have to remember that these flanges right here are going to slide into these spaces on the bottom of the control housing. So you have to make sure that you slide it on there with both of them in. And it'll only let you go just so far. After you get that, the next piece is going to be this lipped piece, and the lipped edge goes over the top of the bottom of the casing. Make sure your wires are not pinched, and the big flathead screws go down at the bottom, just so you remember. We won't put those in at the moment. Then this piece goes on the back with the louvers pointing down, and you will have 4 small Phillips screws. Put that on, and that will complete your assembly. And you're ready to go again. Thank you.